What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today we're taking a look at the remaining sneaker releases in May and whether I think they're going to sit or whether I think they're going to sell. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Check out my social media at @RealSethFowler and also give me a follow on Twitch at Seth Fowler. But with all that out of the way, let's get into it. So for those of you unfamiliar, this is my bi-weekly series where I take a look at the sneakers releasing either in the first half of the month or the second half of the month. And of course, as you can tell by the title of the video, each shoe releasing gets a sit or sell rating based on what I think the shoe is gonna do. So obviously none of these ratings are official and they're all based on my own personal opinion, and sometimes, yes, I get it wrong. So with that in mind, please don't base your buying decisions on what I say in this video. Buy a shoe because you like it and not because someone else told you to. But with all that out of the way, let's jump right into the list. Starting off the list on May 17th, we've got one of the Art of a Champion sneakers, the Converse Star Player Ox Intangibles. This Converse low comes with a tan upper and blue accents and celebrates Wes Unseld's NBA Finals performance in 1978. As we've seen with other sneakers in the collection, there's gold accents throughout to commemorate the finals, and overall this is a clean and really nice looking sneaker. Based on what we've seen from other shoes in the collection, I think the shoe does have a chance to sell out, but I don't really think there's going to be any resale. Releasing on the same day is a shoe that I've actually already reviewed. You can check out that review in the link at the top of the screen. And that shoe is the Converse Fast Break High No Easy Buckets. This sneaker also comes in the Art of a Champion collection and commemorates Kevin McHale's dramatic foul in the 1984 NBA Finals. The shoe is primarily dressed in Celtics green, so if you're a Celtics fan, even if you don't know who Kevin McHale is, I still think it's a great sneaker to pick up. Like I said with the other Converse that's dropping on this day, I think there is a chance that the shoe will sell out, but I don't really think there's going to be any resale. Next up, we've got a restock of the Air Max 97 Metallic Gold. This shoe has recently re-released a couple times in the past, and it has sold out. I do think the shoe will probably sell out, especially on Nike sneakers, but I think the sellout time in store will definitely be a lot slower, so if you're really trying to grab a pair, you shouldn't have a hard time. Also releasing on that day is another iteration of the same sneaker, the Nike Air VaporMax 97 Gold Bullet. I'm not a huge fan of the Air Max 97 and VaporMax mashups. I did a review of the silver bullet version of the shoe, and it was okay, and this version I really don't love, so it's not a shoe that I'm going to be trying to pick up. But because of the appeal of the colorway, even though the outsole is kind of iffy in my opinion, I think the shoe will probably still sell out. The next sneakers releasing are all Air Maxes from the Atmos and Nike We Love Nike pack. The first is the Atmos and Nike Air Max 90. This Air Max 90 comes in primarily black and red. However, when you look really closely at the red, you'll see that it's actually made up of Nike sneaker boxes. I think that's a super cool detail, and when I first saw the shoe, I didn't actually notice that, and I just didn't like the shoes as much. But now that I'm seeing that, I think they're dope. The pattern may be a little busy for some people, but I think overall Atmos and Nike collaborations are still pretty desirable, so I think the shoe is probably going to sell. Next, we have the second shoe in the pack, the Atmos Nike Air Max 1. This time around, the shoe comes in blue, white, and gray, and when you look closely at the gray sections of the shoe, you can actually see the shoebox printing is still there. On this colorway though, it's in grayscale rather than in color. Same deal with the Air Max 90, I think it's a good looking shoe overall, and it's probably gonna sell. Finally rounding out the pack is the Atmos Air Max 95. This shoe comes in primarily black, gray, and red, and when you look closely at the upper, you can see the Air Max branding all the way across it. This shoe still features the box print, but this time around it uses the Air Max 95 boxes rather than your standard Nike boxes. And as you'd expect, I think the shoe will probably sell out. Also on the 17th, we've got two Nike Air Max Pluses dropping. The first is the Air Max Plus in black orange, and the second is the Air Max Plus in gold to go with the rest of the metallic gold pack. Both these sneakers are fine. I'm not a fan of the Air Max Plus, and I don't think a lot of people are either, so I think both these shoes are probably gonna sit. And finally, rounding off May 17th, we've got a brand new model from Adidas, the Adidas Solar Boost. This shoe is dropping in two different colorways, one for men, one for women. The men's colorway comes in a black, teal, and orange, and the women's colorway comes in sort of a teal blue. I think they're both pretty nice looking sneakers, and I'm definitely gonna try and pick up a pair for myself to review for you guys. But I think the Boost craze has finally settled a little bit, which means it's easier to grab new Boost sneakers, and I think these shoes won't be any different. I think they're probably gonna sit. Finally, moving on to May 18th, we've got an Air Jordan 1 Women's High Zip dropping. This Air Jordan 1 High Zip comes in the mica green colorway, and overall, I think it looks pretty clean. I personally haven't been a huge fan of the way some of these women's only Air Jordan 1s have been looking. I think some of them are a little too crazy, but to be fair, they're not designed for me, they're designed for women, so it's not too big of a deal. I think this is probably one of the best looking women's exclusive Air Jordan 1s that are dropping. However, I don't think it's gonna be that popular, and I think it's probably gonna sit. Continuing on, we've got the Nike Air More Money in the Court Purple colorway. The Air More Money is not really a sneaker that I'm interested in, and in this purple colorway, it's just a little bit too much for me. I also don't know how many people are really feeling the shoe or this colorway, so I think the shoe is probably going to sit. Next up is the Nike SF AF1 High in the Court Purple colorway. The SF AF1 was extremely popular when it first released, but now the popularity has died down just a bit. And to be real with you guys, I really don't think a lot of people are gonna love this shoe in this colorway, so I think the shoe is definitely gonna sit. Following up that release, we've got another shoe in the Court Purple colorway, the Nike Air Force 270. The Air Force 270 is a shoe that I just think never should have been made. I just don't like it whatsoever. I know there are people that love it. I don't really understand it. It's their personal preference though, so I can't be too mad. But man, in this Court Purple colorway, not feeling it. And I'm hoping that a lot of other people are not feeling it as well, so I think the shoe is probably gonna sit. Finally rounding out the Court Purple collection, we've got the Nike Vandal High. This is actually really not a bad looking shoe and might be the only shoe out of the collection that I'd personally pick up for myself, but recently the Nike Vandal really hasn't been that popular, so I think the shoe is probably gonna sit. Also dropping on May 18th, we've got the Skepta Nike Air Max 97 BW. This shoe comes in primarily white with mismatched red and blue swooshes. Apparently the color scheme is to pay tribute to Paris, and I think overall it looks really nice. I have heard this shoe is going to be relatively limited, and because it's a collaboration with Skepta, I think the shoe is definitely going to be desirable, so I think the shoe is probably going to sell. Finally rounding out May 18th, we've got the Nike LeBron Soldier 12 Black Red. The LeBron Soldier 12 isn't a bad looking sneaker, and I think overall the silhouette is doing well. However, I don't really know if there's any significance behind this colorway, and I tend to think it's probably just a regular Soldier 12, so for that reason, I think it's probably gonna sit. Moving on to May 19th is another sneaker from the Art of a Champion collection, the Nike Air Force 1 Low Faux Fee Faux. This sneaker is inspired by Moses Malone's guarantee to the 1983 Sixers that they would win the NBA Finals, which they did. The sneaker is dressed in primarily white and red and comes with gold accents, as we've come to expect from the Art of a Champion collection. The sneaker is relatively simple compared to the rest of the shoes in the collection, and I don't think it'll sell out right away, but I think over the first couple days, it'll probably sell. Next up, we've got a couple of Adidas sneakers dropping. The first is the Adidas 350 Moscow in the white, red, and orange colorway. This is an okay looking sneaker. The colorway isn't bad, but I do think it's a little plain. And honestly, unless there's something about the shoe that I'm missing or it's super limited, I just don't see the shoe selling out. The next shoe is also an Adidas 350 Moscow, this time in the black, orange, and red colorway. Same sort of deal, kind of plain, not too interesting. I think the shoe is probably gonna sit. Next up is the Alexander Wang Adidas AW Run in black. We saw the shoe release about a year ago in the white colorway, and it did okay. It definitely looked like a medical sock though, so it wasn't something that I wanted to grab, but some people really seem to like it. This shoe definitely doesn't look as bad. I could actually maybe see myself wearing this shoe, and because it's an Alexander Wang, and because it was relatively popular last year when it first released, I think there is a chance that the shoe might sell. Also dropping on the same day, we've got two colorways of the Alexander Wang Adidas AW Reissue Run dropping. The first is the black, salmon, and green colorway, and the second is the black, red, and yellow colorway. These shoes definitely don't look bad, and they fit within that sort of dad shoe vibe that is really huge right now, but I kind of have a feeling that they're gonna look weird on feet, and I don't think a lot of people are really into the Alexander Wang Adidas collab anymore, so I think the shoes are probably gonna sit. Also dropping on May 19th, we've got two women's exclusive Air Jordan 1 Rebels dropping. The first is the top 3 colorway, and I've got to be honest, this shoe in general looks bad, but this colorway, I don't know. I feel like they could have made this shoe so much better by just not making it. But honestly, the asymmetrical lacing looks really weird, and this colorway just doesn't seem to fit this shoe. It's kind of gross. That's just my personal opinion. Like I said, the shoe isn't designed for me, it's designed for women. Maybe you women like this shoe better than I do, but I don't like it. Whether the shoe is gonna sit or gonna sell, I kind of hope it sits so that they don't make any more of these. So out of wanting to just will something into existence, I'm gonna say this shoe is going to sit. In addition to the top 3 colorway dropping, we've also got a Chicago colorway dropping. And again, I don't know how they took like the most iconic colorway of the Air Jordan 1 and made it suck, but they did, and it's unfortunate because I think the shoe is trash. So for that reason, I'm gonna give the shoe a sit. Finally rounding off May 19th, we've got the non-numbered release of the Air Jordan 1 Homage to Home. I did a review on this sneaker last week and then wore it to SneakerCon this weekend. I still love the shoe. Yes, it's definitely funky looking, and because of that seam down the middle, it creases a little bit weird, but I still think it's a great looking sneaker. The leather quality looks incredible. It's not as nice in hand as you would think from pictures, but it's definitely not bad. And overall, I just really like the way this shoe looks. If I'm honest, I think it might look better on a shelf than it does on feet, but overall, a dope shoe. Do I think the shoe is gonna sell out? Yeah, I do. Also, if you haven't seen my review of this sneaker, make sure to check it out at the link at the top of the screen. Moving on to May 21st, we've got two colorways of my favorite Puma sneaker to ever release. The first is the Puma Thunder Electric in the black, gray, red, and gum colorway. Like the Puma Thunder Spectra that just released and will restock, I think the shoe is an excellent looking sneaker. I love the dad shoe vibe, I love the gum outsole. This is a shoe that I'm probably gonna try and pick up. As to whether I think the shoe is gonna sit or sell, I think because a lot of people who really wanted the Puma Thunder missed out on their pairs when it first released, I think they're gonna go for this colorway. So for that reason, I think the shoe will probably sell. The next colorway to release is the Puma Thunder Electric in the black, gray, and blue colorway. Same deal as the first colorway. I don't like this colorway as much, but I think the shoe is probably gonna sell. Moving on to May 24th, we've got the Art of a Champion Air Jordan 11 Low My Amour. This is a women's only release, and I've got to be honest, it's probably one of the best ones this month. Overall, it's a really nice looking shoe. I like the purple and black accents, and I think that sort of crackled upper on the patent leather does look pretty good. Because of its limited nature and the fact that it's in the Art of a Champion collection, I think the shoe will probably sell out. Also dropping on May 24th, we've got the Nike Kobe AD NXT 360 in the yellow strike and white colorway. I don't know why it's called the yellow strike and white colorway. It's clearly a yellow and purple Lakers colorway, but I digress. The Kobe AD NXT 360 is an excellent basketball performer, and I do think it looks really good on feet. I don't love this colorway as much as the original colorway, but if you missed out on that colorway, this isn't a bad way to go. Because of the popularity of the sneaker and this being only the second colorway to ever release, I think the shoe will probably sell. And rounding off May 24th, we've got two different colorways of the brand new MCM and Puma Collaboration, the MCM Puma Suede. The shoe comes in a brown and in a white colorway, and to be completely honest with you guys, I know nothing about MCM and I know nothing about this collaboration. I've done a little bit of research on it, but it's really not something that I'm personally interested in, but I would guess because of the popularity of MCM that this shoe might sell out. That's what I'm guessing, and I think it's gonna happen for both colorways. Moving on to May 26th, we've got three more Puma collaborations dropping. The first is the Big Sean Puma Suede in the melon colorway. This colorway is sort of an orangey tan, and it's definitely not a bad looking sneaker. I'm not really a fan of Big Sean. I don't really listen to any of his music. I don't think it's bad, it's just not something that I listen to. And overall, if you're in the market for a simple and clean suede sneaker, I think this is a good way to go. However, even though I think it's a collaboration, I don't think the shoe is gonna sell. Second, we've got the Big Sean and Puma Suede Mid in the jelly bean or green colorway. Same thing, nice looking sneaker. If you like green suede, not a bad way to go, but again, I just don't see the shoe selling out. And finally, rounding out the Big Sean collaboration, we've got the Big Sean Puma Clyde in black. Black sneaker, check. Big Sean, check. Puma, check. If you like all those things, grab it. If you don't, you're probably gonna be fine because it's probably not gonna sell out. Also releasing on May 26th, we've got a LeBron dropping the Nike Zoom Generation SVSM. This is a pretty good looking sneaker. I like the green and gold colorway, and if you're really looking for a LeBron Zoom Generation, this is a good way to go. The previous Zoom Generations that have retroed have all sold out, and I think it's gonna be the same thing for this particular colorway. I think the shoe is definitely gonna sell. And finally, rounding off May 26th, we've got one of the most anticipated Air Jordan releases of the month, the Air Jordan 11 Prom Night. It also looks a lot like the Gamma Blue colorway that dropped in 2013, even though they're sort of calling it a blacked out colorway. The outsole is still blue. It doesn't look black. But not only that, I've heard rumors that this shoe is limited to 50,000 pairs, which is not very many at all. So with the waning popularity of the Air Jordan 11 and the fact that this shoe is pretty limited, I'm interested to see how it does in the resale market. But as you would expect, the shoe is definitely gonna sell out. And finally, rounding off the month, on May 31st, we've got the final Art of a Champion sneaker to drop this month, the LeBron Soldier 1 25 Straight. The LeBron Soldier 1 25 Straight comes in white and dark navy blue with gold accents throughout. It's got a navy strap across the midfoot with the white Nike swoosh, and overall, it's a really clean looking sneaker. I would say this is probably one of the most desirable sneakers in the Art of a Champion collection, with the Kawhi Leonard ones probably being the most desirable. So with that being said, I think the shoe is definitely gonna sell. But guys, that pretty much wraps up the list for the end of May. I'd love to know your thoughts on what sneakers are dropping and what sneakers you're looking forward to most. So make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.